Hey there and welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video, so I'm kind of nervous. But I am renovating the 702 ZenView apartments in San Myshuno, and the vibe that I'm trying to go for is kind of like a I want to say industrial and Scandinavian. I like to mix those two together since I think they look pretty good and I can't really decide on which one I like more. So I decided to go for a light couch since I know I'm gonna be putting a lot of black furniture like bookshelves and stuff. And here I was trying to decide what console for the TV would be better. This one looked better because it was slimmer since there's already a narrow passageway. But I decided to go for my all-time favorite. I think it's by mikrosimsmos. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's an IKEA table. And now I'm choosing the carpet. I wanted to go for a gray carpet. Okay, here's the real deal. I get my inspiration from Google Images. For this, I Googled industrial style living room, and by the way that you see that the wall's decorated, and if you Google that, you'll find my inspiration. I'm pretty basic with that stuff. I draw a lot of my inspiration from Google, but I also like to put a lot of plants since plants are good for homes, what I think, but they really are. And here I am trying to put everything perfect. Sorry for the lag. My game decided to act up within the last 2 days and it's getting really annoying, but at the same time, what can I do? Books are really important. With my looks, there are a lot of books in this apartment. And this apartment's actually for one of my game saves that it's a single mother, and yeah, there's a little coloring book and crayons on the table. Decided to add that little bit because there's no way a child can live here, even more so a toddler can live here without there being at least a little bit of a mess, even though the sim that lives here is kind of a clean freak. I try to do the exact replica of the image I saw on Google. I probably link my inspiration pictures down below in the description. Trying to pick a lamp for this is kind of impossible because I honestly forgot to download industrial style lamps, but I managed to make one of these that I already had installed with my game fit. I don't really like the TV area. I didn't really know what to do with it. And a whole bunch of the industrial style Google Images, there's no TVs barely ever. So I had to make it up by myself and I'm not really good at that. So we're just gonna ignore the fact that that TV area looks a little weird. I was really dead set on using that console table, but with the windows it look weird and it kind of sucks that you can't adjust these windows, but it is what it is. Now here's where I had a real problem. Normally I'm really indecisive, but here I was really indecisive on what I wanted to do in terms of dining table and finishes and whether I wanted it to be white, black, wood. But I made it work out. I, again, turned to Google and I tried to copy a look that I saw, but it turned out okay. I didn't really have that type of finish for my tables that I have, so I made it work in the end. And I finally got to use some bookshelves that I've been wanting to use, but the thing about types of bookshelves that I like in this is that you have to clutter them yourselves or they'll just look like empty bookshelves. And yeah, here I am. At this point I was Googling pictures and came across one that I really liked, and I actually have these chairs in real life and I love them. Actually, my dining room table is kind of like this, except like the black metal parts at the end. Chose a walnut finish. And choosing a simple light to go over it. And here we are again, plants, plants, plants. Plants are important to my kind of style. I eventually ended up taking those flowers in the vase away because it just didn't fit. I felt like it was too florally and not, it was, I don't know, it was too florally and not green enough, if that makes any sense. And if you hear my stomach, please ignore it. I'm kind of hungry right now. But hopefully you won't. It was so hard to decorate these bookshelves, but luckily a whole bunch of the CC I have, it's just a whole bunch of books on top of each other or stacked up on each other or side by side. And there might be some weird gaps where it looks like the book is leaning on something and there's like a small gap, but usually stuff like that doesn't bother me. And hopefully it won't bother you guys. But I probably should remove that bottle of gin from there. That's not kid friendly right there. But if you guys are wondering why I'm not focusing on the kitchen, it's because I already did it and I don't feel like removing everything and redoing the kitchen. But maybe I'll show some screenshots in my other builds where I rebuild the upstairs bedrooms in a later video. And here I am focusing on the entryway. I saw this look on Tumblr, or Simbler like I like to call it, where I get all my downloads and whatnot, and I wanted to go for a simple entryway, but at the same time I wanted to use up the understair space since I hate leaving it empty. Even though this console table kind of touches the stairs, we're just going to ignore that. This is where I had trouble deciding whether I wanted to extend the shelves or just leave them kind of bare and add more clutter, more tall, or I guess taller clutter to the console. This console area, the understair console area, kind of looks a little weird. Forgive me guys, this is one of my first builds and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm getting into the swing of things. And eventually I want to rely less on Google and maybe more on books, but I don't think I'll ever be original like that because my taste is honestly horrible. But I try to make it work. I try to be a cool kid like that. And in this area, I forgot there was a lamp, so I just decided to quickly fill that and delete those ugly EA shades. And put a lamp here because it looked kind of weird without a lamp. There needed to be some light here for the entryway. And I kind of want this look in my real house, but I don't know. Maybe one day. And I'm adding finishing touches. This table runner. Please ignore the fact that it's running on the metal. Just ignore that, please. And we are wrapping up here. I added a toy just so it looks like a kid lives here because a kid does live here. And these are the screenshots. Honestly, I'm proud of myself. It looks pretty good. And I really like this screenshot. And this one. I'm proud of myself, but I hope you guys enjoy it and let me know if you would like me to upload it to the gallery.